How's everybody? And of course, you're right, baby. I'm live, baby. I am live, and I am glad to be with you. And welcome to my channel. This is my channel. You see it? Yeah, yeah. And I am your lawman. Now, and I know I say this every week, but I'm glad to be back with you. Um, and I hope I got everything technically set up. And I know I should be in hello there, Season of Tree. I know I can count on you. Be my first one in there. But I know I got everything, in up and down mode. I'm just trying this mode instead of the orientation mode. But yes, I am back. And now they tell me that I'm supposed to waste a little time while we go ahead and let people come on in. So y'all come on in. Come on in. I pray, hey, GG, what's going on? What's going on? You know the way we do it here. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. But all right. Yeah. Y'all come on in here. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah, y'all and this subject is oh yeah, I'm bike. Yeah, I am bike. And for the people up north who don't know what I'm talking about, when some of the people down in the south say bike, that means I'm back. I am bike, baby. So if you come down here, you ain't never been down south, if somebody say I'll be bike, you ain't got to be looking for no bicycle or anything else. Just look, just understand that they saying they finna leave and they'll be back. Okay. All right. But yeah, a lot of people have a lot of questions, especially when stuff goes wrong. Um, when stuff goes wrong, like police when the police um, use force, and I have to watch my words too. So when the police use force, that in all likelihood is gonna send somebody in the spiritual realm. And they always ask me what I think, and yeah, they ask me what I think, and so I figure I'll do a live stream for this. And the thing about it is, every situation is different. Every situation is different. But we're gonna get into it. But are we gonna wait maybe another minute? And I'm gonna get into it. And I mean, if you miss this, hey, y'all can catch the playback or the playback. Y'all can catch it. Y'all catch it. But I hope that everything is going well with you. I hope everything is, you all are blessed. And don't forget, if you think that this is helping you in any kind of way, or you getting anything out of the education, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. That's how you thank me. I'm not begging for no money. Well, if you want to send me some money, I'm not going to turn it down, but I'm not begging for money. Okay? So y'all come on in. Come on in. All right. So they say, lawman. That police officer just popped somebody and sent him to the spiritual realm. Oh, he's dead wrong. And I say it depends on the situation. You can't judge every situation by the last situation. Everything is different. Okay, let's look at, for instance, George Floyd. And don't get me wrong, when I see stuff like that, I'm always looking because I understand. I understand what it's like being out there. I understand what it's like being under that stress, and I understand. But when I looked at George Floyd, I'm like, I couldn't find no kind of excuse, no kind of reason or rhyme or reason why he would sit there with his knee in that man's neck. That man was already handcuffed. I'm like, why? It's like he was possessed by a demon, man. I'm saying that look on his face. I couldn't relate. I'm like, look, even in the old days, when the people were more physical, like these little thugs now, they really paperweights compared to the old school. These little thugs now can't even fight. I mean, they are bare out on the streets. They are bare. Got they sword that weigh half they weight. But you take that from them, and they like when they go to jail, a lot of them crying for their mama. Mama, they taking my food. Oh, but you were feared on the street. I mean, you are a stone cold killer, remember? Now you calling and begging and crying for your mama? Really? But I'm going back to the old days because I came from a generation and we knew how to throw these, knees, bows. Like I used to tell the youngsters when I was in school, um, I I mean, they said, man, without that badge and gun, I see you in the streets. I'm like, first of all, you see me in the streets, you better go on about your business. Cause this badge and gun is the only thing that's keeping me off your ass. You see me in the street in the mall with my wife and kids, and you come up there with that stuff, I ain't got no kind of limitations, and I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna do it. So it's best for you to go on about your business. If you're gonna get me in uniform. And but a lot of the older school guys now, the guys my age, a little younger, and some are older, man, we threw those hands. I mean, we threw those hands, and a lot of us was good at it. We knew how to punch. We know how to take a punch. Um, but even my point is, even in those days when we were more physical with these guys, once these guys were in order to get me to that level, you had to take it there. I never just volunteered to just take it to a level and just start beating on somebody. Um, and first of all, I'm not one of these super cops. This is not, and if you look at my introduction video, this is not a profession I ever dreamed that I would get in and even stay in for 28 years. Not even a couple of years. I was just trying to get out of my pop's house. I thought I want to be independent. So I didn't get bullied in school. I was an athlete. So I mean, they have all kind of excuses, and I can't speak for any officer but myself. And I know there's a lot of guys like myself. It's a lot of guys. And but when it comes to George Floyd, man, I'm like thinking, man, what in the world? I mean, I just can't get it. And let me I'll I'll never ever be able to get that. And another one was y'all remember when the lady came, she claimed she thought there was an apartment and walked in this man's house while he was eating ice cream and pop goes the weasel. I'm like, really? Oh well, thank you, JJ. I appreciate it. But really? How in the world did you think that was your house? I I've back when our children, my children was in the house, and sometimes I used to work 17, 18, 19-hour days. I was never that tired where I went into the neighbor's house. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then you got people like the judge and they're hugging and praying and saying a prayer over that. I I don't get it. And you know that it was a it was a okay. It was another one. I'm trying to think about. And I'm naming these because there's no way that I can justify it. I'm naming it, but there are going to be some controversial ones that you might not understand. Okay, there was an incident that happened several years ago. I think that it was in Atlanta in the Wendy's parking lot, and those officers tried to. This guy fell asleep in the drive through Wendy's, and they called the police, and the police got there. They made contact with the guy, got the guy out, and the officers were very professional, and they determined that he was DUI, and they attempted to arrest him, and he fought them. Okay, the officers, two of them, he got the upper hand. He got the upper hand on the officers, and the officers actually tried to physically take him, but they couldn't. He ended up taking one of the tasers from the officer. He ran, but as he was running, he came back with the taser like this, and guess what? Pop goes the weasel. Okay, now you're saying, well, they they shouldn't have did this, and I think the mayor, I think her name was Keisha Bottoms. Um, she went to talking trash and stuff like this. But I was telling everybody that I knew these officers were gonna get off. These officers gonna get off. I knew it. Then they were like, well, Lawman, would you would have shot him? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would have shot them. I'm sorry. I don't know if I would have popped them. I don't know. I don't think that I would, but here's the thing. He put my safety in danger though. He put my safety at danger. I've already, and with me though, I'm already been a big physical man, and if he was able to handle me, that was a problem right there because that means that he was a lot of man or either geeked up on stuff or whatever. Right, right. That's right, G. You can't ever say what you would do in a stressful situation. From what I saw, those officers handled everything right. And as they tried to arrest him, he resisted. He went on the attack. He took an officer's weapon and he turned it on that officer. You know, and that is why, and I don't agree with them putting this stuff all in the media and prejudice they'll prejudice the jury or potential jury against this officer. This is like this incident that happened, I think maybe a week ago, where this deputy was knocking on this hotel door, and the guy finally opened the door. The guy had a gun in his hand, and pop goes the weasel. Okay, now I'm not gonna comment on that right there. I'm not gonna comment on it because there was a lot of stuff. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Gigi. If he took their weapon, you just know it's going to end. It's not going to end up where it's not. But going back to this, I saw a lot of people are upset, and I feel like they're trying these guys in public opinion before they have their due in court, and now you're swaying the juries, not knowing the whole situation. So I do not agree that the news should be able to put this stuff out before the FBI, your local GBI, whatever, investigate. And then after they do their investigation and after the court thing, okay, now put it out to the public. But what you do end up doing, you prejudice your potential jurors. And the thing about it, they don't even put out the whole thing because a lot of times stuff on video don't appear to be. You can't see everything in the totality of the circumstances. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make an excuse for this particular deputy. And I heard Antoine Daniels on the million, not Antoine Daniels, but I forget this guy's name. But he was like, well, why the officers knock on the door? He's standing outside the peephole. Why he doing that? Why he doing that? You know why? Because I've been doing it for 28 years. Because if somebody want to shoot and they shoot through that door, that's point blank. Everybody that I've trained, I've always taught not to stand right in front of the door. It's not that we're hiding. We just don't want to be a target. And then you can either pop through the door, or as soon as you open the door, pop. Yeah. So that's why. It's not like the deputy was trying to hide from the guy. We get taught that in police academy. So I feel like if a lot of people actually know and understand our job and our thing, they'll understand why we do a lot of stuff we do. I never, ever stand directly in front of a door. I'll knock on it and I'll step to the side. And I've done that. So with this case, it's a lot of stuff that needs to be answered and investigated. And I'm not going to say whether that officer was right or wrong, because at the end of the day, the deputy, he knocked on the door and he did identify himself. But yet and still, the young man came. He had a gun in his hand. Then you say, well, it was down. It was down. Okay, here's the thing. Let me see. Let me see what y'all talking about here. Okay, we got taught to step back even in sales. Yeah, even in sales profession. Yeah, because you never know. These people pop goes the weeds. They pop through the door. Yeah, so it's not like the officer was being deceitful, and pretty much there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Um, the deputy did identify himself. Um, and the young man stepped and he had a sword in his hand. No, he didn't lift it. But do you realize that if I'm standing here and I don't have mine in my hand, and he lifted like that, you got me beat. I'm at your will. So I've had situations like that with people and I've drawn out on them and they've dropped it. And I didn't have to do anything. So I just say with that case, I don't agree with them putting this stuff out in the media like that. I don't agree. You got people commenting on it. People are protesting. Mayor Keisha Bottoms got herself kicked out of office because you commenting on something that you don't know about. Those officers that Wendy's got away, they won their case. They won their case. And the city had to give up millions to pay them because y'all took them through all of that and you ruined these guys' careers, and these guys did a jam up job. Now, public opinion is public opinion. It's about, first of all, what does the law say and what does your training say? And so I think that you can be a better judge if you could go and train. The way they train us, it's not a secret. Everything you can use the Google, as Bush would say, the Google. So we have to be careful on that right there. And I am not willing to say is he gonna be convicted or what? Okay. Everybody got upset. Y'all remember Michael Brown, and I think Michael Brown is the one that kicked this thing off. It was a lot of lies going on about what really happened there. But what really happened there, that officer was attacked by a big dude. He was attacked. He was punched. It all came out in court. But this is where all the rioting started with, though. Well, I think he was second. Let me say, I think the people have been deceived in so many cases that they don't trust the footage not being released. That's true, but that also prejudice the jury though. So um, I understand that you want it released quickly, but the people who gonna make the decision um, are the only people who really needs to know that. Now in that case, Ahmaud Arbery, yeah, they need to be in jail. Yeah, those guys need to be in jail. They had no authority or no business doing that. But Michael Brown, on the other case, Michael Brown attacked that officer. Michael Brown was a big guy. Michael Brown had a reputation of being rough and tough. But they want to put your baby pictures up there and, oh, look at him, he's so sweet and this and this and this. Yeah, that ain't the way he look now. Yeah, he was sweet on that picture, but now he's 6'3", 6'4", 250, who putting the smackdown on an officer. I'm just saying. But is the media is the biggest. The media is the biggest problem, I think, what we got. Because the media they want the people to be divided. They want the people to be divided. And I'll tell everybody that you should never just be so pro police that you're willing to look you're willing to um okay, you say got kicked off at Castle, but you should never be so pro police that you are able to and try to make excuses for the mistreatment of the people. You should never be, and you should never be so anti-police where before everything come out and you don't even give this guy a fair shot, and you want to crucify this guy and you don't even know. You don't know. Um, and and I can see it from both points because at some point, yeah, I'm talking to you fellow officers, and you don't have to like it. At some point, you have, if you're a scary cat, if you're a scary cat, go find you something to do. Become a postman, car salesman, because we're gonna have to put ourselves, we're gonna come into danger. And using that excuse, oh, he was so big. Oh, I was scared for my life. That's not good enough. Let me tell you something, man. I was willing when I was younger to take on all comers, and I trained for it. But get what? As I got older, and I had to promise my wife, because my wife know me, that I got to use my tool belt now. You got so many tools on this belt um, that you don't go through. You know, you got so many tools, and they are very effective. Believe that. But you go straight to unalive force because you say he was big and black. Can't get with that, man. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. I think I told y'all about the real life Debo. That was a true story. That was a true story. Um, it takes a special group of guys who's going to be right for this. With me, I've always had the gift of gab, even though I mess up several words, and I probably messed up a word here or two. But you got to look at back in my hometown, though, we all messed up words, so I was normal. I didn't realize that, hey, when I moved away, I'm like, man, these folk ain't right. These folk talking wrong. What they talking about? And I had to be convinced that it was me messing up the words and not them. But anyway, we have got to and don't get me wrong, black people, I understand. I do understand because I understand that the system has a history of letting you down, but at the same time, and a lot of these guys who've been unaliving these brothers, yeah, a lot of them have been racist. A lot of them have not liked the brothers or the sisters. But guess what? But guess what? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All these, uh, all these Biden. Okay, Jesus said Biden got to go to. Yeah, Biden. You know what? Biden is responsible for the crime bill. Who locked up millions of brothers? Who locked up millions of brothers over little stuff? So the thing about it, what we have to do, we're gonna have to not just judge with a big blanket. We got to look at these cases separately. But yet and still, we can't be, we shouldn't be all right with somebody putting stuff out in the media and gonna prejudice you against. Just imagine if and I think we got most of the ladies here. Just imagine if your husband was doing this and something happened and he going through it and you know what happened. You knew that by policy that he was right. But the media put all this stuff out here and they withhold different stuff and they put lies out. And now I got to pick a jury, but this stuff is nationwide. So everybody who they got to pick amongst, they've already been prejudiced against me. Um, so and that's the thing. Okay, Gigi says the people gonna realize one day there is really the haves and have-nots against everybody. That's true. That is true. It's haves and have-nots. Um, and like I tell people all the time, you have got to do what's to your best interest, and you got to be able to protect yourself. You got to be able to protect yourself. But going back to these cases, and I know, so Michael Brown, those officers, and they got off. They were just okay. You got this young boy, Tamir Rice. Now I thought that those guys should have been locked up. Them guys got out of their car, and before anybody could say anything, this little kid had this gun, and pop goes the weasel. I mean, if you were so scared of this little boy, if you were so scared of this little boy, you get out behind your car door where you got covered and say, "Hey, put the gun down." But you don't even do that. You just get out, pop, 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 pop. No, 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 no. That's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. That's not gonna work, fellow officers. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. Okay. What's the other guy who the officer sent into the spiritual realm? He was in the car with his baby and his fiance. He told him, like, "Hey, I got a permit to carry. I got my sword on my hip." And then they asked him for ID, and as he was reaching for ID, pop goes the weasel. That's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Not. No. No. I don't care. There's no excuse for that. I've been in situations thousands of times. I pull people over. And they say, "Officer or deputy, I just want you to let you know I have a license to carry and I have my weapon." They tell us that. When somebody tell me that, yeah, Cassio, don't get me to mess up this. Uh, don't get me to mess up this man's first name. That's why I ain't want to say it. Y'all be laughing at me. But uh, when somebody tell you, "Hey, look, I got my weapon on me," that means to me, okay, well, just keep it on your side. Don't take it out because it means to me they don't want to hurt me. That's what I take it as. I take it as they don't want to hurt me. because the little tough guys out here, they're not gonna tell me. They're not gonna tell me they got it. They're not gonna tell me they got it. So yeah. Well, you don't, Gigi. You don't have to tell now. You don't have to tell us, but if you know that if it's in your glove compartment and you got the reach in your glove compartment and because you got your idea, it's best to tell. It's best to let them know, hey, look. But it is best though to just have that stuff already out. Just have it out before they get to your car. Just go on and get it in your hand so you won't have to reach or anything. Um, but that case right there, when I saw I don't want to mess up Castillo's name. Castro. See that you make me mess up that man's name. How my English is, GG. But I watched that video, man, in tears. I mean, I feel the tears, and I was angry. I mean, man, I was so angry. Oh man, you know. But at the same time, we have to. Okay, what about the lady who thought she was pulling out the taser? Man, how in the world do you confuse a taser with a sword? How? I don't get it. She wasn't on Ricky. She had over 20 years. She had over 20 years. Yeah, I tried. I tried. See that? I don't know, GG. See that? I think you did that on purpose, GG. We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to speak with Eco Neighbor about this right here because GG, you got me messing up these words. Yeah, folk gonna be talking. But people, um, change it. When I mess up a word, don't think that it's in my mind. It's just my speech. It's just my speech. I went to college. And I don't feel like I have to justify this, but I went to college and I was a playwright. I mean, I wish if I could speak like I could write, man. Shoot, y'all would think I was one of the smartest cats in the world if I could speak like I could write. I had teachers even in high school telling me that I could be a great writer, but guess what? That wasn't for me. But my son has my youngest son has took my place. He's doing his thing. He is doing his thing, and I'm so proud of him. But well, y'all messing with me. But yeah, but I can't explain that. I can't explain it. So everything, and then we get behind this. Okay, controversial. Did I just mess up that word? Controversial. Okay, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Do you? When you looked on video, you saw very few black people there. These people were plants, and we allow these people to lead us. But they don't be worrying about the black agenda. They worrying about the LGBTQ agenda. They're worrying about everybody's agenda except black people agenda. So we these people weren't concerned, and the people who headed it. Now, don't get me wrong. The original people before it was taken over, um, by George Soros and his cronies, it was a grassroots movement, and it was a good movement. But those leaders, a lot of them mysteriously got unalived. And then you had these lesbians come take it over, and all you have to do is read their bylaws. They wasn't concerned about improvement for blacks. They wasn't. Um, so we have to be careful. And my thing is, so do I think we should be held accountable? Hell yeah. Hey, Eco Maven, look, man. Look, man, I'm gonna have to you had to get Gigi from man. Gigi got me knowing that sometimes I might have a little speech impediment. And she got me trying to pronounce these names. Got me looking like I can't no, I'm just messing with you. Oh boy. Yeah, exactly. Who funded it? So we have to judge each situation. And before we jump, let's try to get the details. And and from our side, we're supposed to be able to have a fair trial without the media lying and putting out half truths and just prejudicing my jurors. Um, you're gonna, turning the jurors against me before I can pick a jury. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, I think even Obama misspoke before he was able to about one situation before he even knew the full details. But yeah, but we should be held accountable though. There are just certain things that I can't explain. But going back to the Atlanta incident, what happened in that Wendy's parking lot, I could explain all of that. I could understand that. I couldn't understand George Floyd, Casillo, um, the little fella in the park, what's his name, Rice? I'm like, no, I can't understand that. I can't understand that. I can't understand it. Now with this situation with this guy and this guy, he's a military young man. It's a lot of stuff that you have to, and they're gonna have to figure this out. Okay. Because at first they was talking about well, the police didn't even identify him, but he did. He knocked on the door twice, sheriff department. And my thing, why would you come to the door with a sword in your hand? But yeah, and everybody said, well, he had a right to. Yeah, he could. He could. But knowing the situation, why would you? But Lawman, did he have to pop pop him? And do you think he would have popped him? I don't know. I go back and forth. I don't think I would have, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I do know that, especially if somebody hadn't unalived nobody, but they got a sword in their hand, and I got a chance to take cover and draw out on them and tell them, yeah, I'm gonna give them a warning. Then I'm gonna give them a warning. I'm not just gonna get out my car and just go the weasel because I wasn't in any danger. They didn't ask that little boy no questions or nothing. So, but on the other hand, those guys in Atlanta, they was not wrong. They so every situation, and don't get me wrong, is every situation ain't even all about race either. Now a lot of them are. I be lying. You'll be like, man, lawman, you ain't being you being impartial. You are being impartial. Okay, yeah, I gotta drive now, but it's still in the background. All right, well, since you make sure you drive careful, um, and I'm not gonna, stay on too long, but the bottom line is yes, we need to be held responsible. But one thing that gets me though, this is like I'm working where I'm at now, and this little guy, he got himself sent into the spiritual realm, and then you had his mother on TV. He ain't never did nothing. Nobody. Man, stop lying. I knew that boy. That boy terrorized the school. He terrorized the neighborhood. I even told that boy it was a matter of time before that happened to him. Stop lying. Stop lying. We know who the problems are out here. Mothers. You know who the problem is. Mothers. He's probably in that situation because of you. I'm not gonna let the men off either, because men, you weren't there. You was not there. Mothers, you knew that he was selling street pharmaceuticals, but you took his money. You took his money. You covered for him. You knew. So let's not get wrong. You know who the problems are. Okay, man, this time has flown by, but yes, we should be held accountable. But I do not think that we should be tried in the news before we have our day in court. And guess what? When they have their day in court and all the evidence come out and they still get it wrong, those people need to be removed. Those people need to be removed. Yeah. This is like that sheriff that them who decided not report Aubrey. They need to be out of office. They need to be out. Try to cover stuff up, look out for their buddies. They should be in prison too. Accountability. But I do want it to be fair. I do want it to be fair. So as you can see, I went down several cases that was in the news. And I went back and forth. Now tell me if you disagree with anything I said. Yeah, that's right, Eco Neighbor. Accountability is everything. If you disagree with anything that I said, email me. You can email me at axelawman@gmail.com. I'm waiting on it. And let's have a discourse. Let's do it. But you know what? I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you to hit this like button. If you want to support what I'm doing and you want this thing to keep on, hit the like button. You can even dislike it. Dislike it. Dislike it. Like it. Do something. Just don't do anything. But yeah, we need to be held accountable, but we don't need to be tried in the media before we have our chance in court. Because all of us is not wrong. All of us is not wrong. That same boy that one of our guys sent in the spiritual realm and terrorizing your neighborhood for years. Terrorizing. Y'all know that dude wasn't right. But yet and still y'all let a movement come in here. Everybody knew Michael Brown wasn't right. He wasn't right. He wasn't right. But yet and still, they these big movements and stuff. Okay, y'all can let them lead you as you want to. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Come on in closer. Come on in close. I'm gonna tell you this. They want you to stay a sheeple. That's right. We got to take care of our youth, brother. I agree. But they want you to stay a sheeple. They want to think for you. They want to tell you what's right and wrong. They want to do that. Who is they? You tell me. They want to be able to tell you, now you see that sun shining and it's shining and hitting your skin. And they want to be able to tell you, hey, that sun is not shining. It's a cloudy day. And then you go to doubting what you see, what you feel, and what you hear. You go to doubt, well, maybe the sun ain't shining. Maybe it is a cloudy day. No, I'm here to snap out of it. Start believing what you see and what you feel. Do your research. Now, some of this stuff can be true, but you shouldn't just believe it because it was on CNN or it was on Fox or it was on the Facebook or the YouTube or whatever. What the old saying, believe in half of what you see and none of what you hear. And what old boy say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you fool me once, you can't fool me again. But but anyway, yeah, they want you to stay asleep. They want you to think that the Democrats and the Republicans actually love you and got your best interests at heart. They want you to think that. Trust them. Don't trust your neighbor. Don't trust your neighbor. Trust us. Yeah, you know your neighbor, but your neighbor, don't trust him. Trust us. Trust us. Yeah, I agree. Eco neighbor. So I'm telling you to wake up. Do not be a sheeple. Do not be a sheeple. Okay, Gigi said at the end of the day is gone in. That's right. I like that. I like that. Don't be a sheeple. And families, if you know that you are the hell raising this family and you cause of people can't get along, stop it. Because I tell you, I hate to be the one to tell you now you when all hell breaks loose, now you can't. Yes, you know what? Eco neighbor, I ought to get a t-shirt that says "Say no to sheeple." I ought to get a t-shirt. And I'm gonna tell you all this right here. If it all boils down to all blood family members will not be able to make this cut. I ain't gonna be able to make this cut. I got people out here who I love who ain't blood kin to me that I trust more than some blood family. But that's who we gonna have to depend on, y'all. We can't depend on this government. We can't depend on the local officials or the federal officials. They got all these people, they letting all these people into the country now and spending our tax dollars. But yet and still, if I ask them for some money to try to help me out to start my business, no, you can't have it, lawman. As a matter of fact, lawman, we're gonna have to take half your retirement, half your social security. We're gonna have to raise your retirement age, lawman. You're gonna be 75. You can make 75, then retire. We can't depend on them. We can't depend on them. We can't depend on them. So we got to stop all this bull. We got to start back embracing family, friends. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it. And police need to be held accountable, but also the people too. You know little pistol start ain't on good. He been out here pistol whipping folk. You know that. Mama, you know that. Uncles, you know that. Daddy, if you there, you know that. You got to stop that. You got to hold him accountable. So let's do that, y'all. Let's do that. And once again, if you have any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and get off this live. But if you have any questions, you can email me at askthelawman@gmail.com. Askthelawman@gmail.com. That's right. We got to get back to these communities. Me and my partner, one of my big brother, was talking today, and I was saying that, and don't get me wrong, I like tech. I like it. But I just think that we go too far with it. We go too far. And with this, what has happened is we got all this tech that's supposed to bring us together, and we are so far apart. The days of where you could go to your neighbor house and borrow sugar and flour. I don't know how you borrow it, I guess, but borrow sugar and flour are gone. Most of these neighbors don't even speak to you. I try to speak, they don't speak. So we got to start getting together with each other. And we don't have to agree on political stances and all of this. Because I think at the end of the day, people wants what best for their families, and they try to vote what they think is best for their families. But yeah, but okay. Ask the lawman. I'm going for real this time. But ask the lawman at gmail.com, and I will respond to you in peace and love. And don't forget to hit the like button. Dislike if you want. Hit the like button. All right. We love you. Peace. All right. I'm out of here. All right.